Hey, hi, how are ya? It's a Saturday night, 11:30 p.m. And you're here with me on How We Float Out Today TV. It's Stephanie Stallworth, ATL Traffic Lady. And it's late and I'm going to bed. But I just want to hop on with you just for a moment. I mean, a real quick moment. A moment becomes momentum, becomes a movement. We've been on a movement here for a while. This mic close so I could sit back and doze off with you. Lizzo, the famous flautist and singer Lizzo, in her lyrics said, "I don't play games. I've been it." I've been it. I don't have to tell you I've been it. I just been it. I don't have to talk about it. It's for me to know. I've been it. So don't minimize people because you don't know who they really are. I don't play games. I've been it. Right? That's her lyric. I don't play games. I've been it. I've been it. I've been it. I've been it. You know, kids who play the game of tag. You're it. Not it. Not it. Not it. They say, all right, let's play tag. All right. And people start yelling out, not it. Not it. Not it. Because they don't want to be it, the one who has to chase the other people and tag them. But when you flip that thing, I've been it, right? So I don't want to be it. I've been it. So it don't matter to me what you think about me. That's why others people's opinion of me, and you should say the same thing for yourself, is none of my business. You can't worry about what people think about you. The only one you want to worry about thinking about you, what they think of you, is you and God, the true and living God, right? I don't play games. I've been it. I forget what song that is. I've been it. I've been it. So, what's that thing I always post? I'm that song you skipped and found out later was fire. That's me. I'm not boastful about my it. I just been it. I don't talk about it. I've been it. God allowed me to be it long, long, long ago. And I stay it. So I ain't worried about it. It. Other it. Or others it. My it is it. So, all the copycatters and the Destiny swappers, they're watching out for who's it. Because they want to be it. Right now they're just pretending to be it, and some people are falling for it. But they're playing a game with you. And you just go back and watch our videos, How We Float Out Today TV community videos over the last year, really coming up on 1 year this month. Yay, thank you, God. It's been a great, great year of progress, self-awareness, introspection, retrospection, and transformation, right? All of that. I want all of that. And we did all of that. It started with flipping the switch to go 100% in the direction that God called you to go. Then we ramped it up. That was September 1st. October 1st, we ramped up to 1,000%, where God called you to be. And then we went 100,000, and all the way up, 1,000,000% in the direction that God called you to go in. And why are you not doing that is the question. That's the question. That's the question. The question for the ages is, why don't people do what God told them to do? They don't trust him enough, I guess. I don't know, honey. I don't know. But for all you placeholders, time passers, seat warmers, your time is up. It's time for me to take my place. Dr. Jamal Wright, your dad does a sermon, but he did it at your installation at New Birth. I shared it with my mom and dad. They loved it. And he said, take your place. My parents loved it. I loved it. Take your place. That was at your, excuse me, at your installation. You had to take your place. And it's time for me to take my place. It's the place that God gave me the first moment I walked in to my church, New Birth. The very first day, first time I was ever on the campus, the first time I ever knew where exactly it was. First day I walked in the building. The first moments when I walked into the sanctuary, I was given an assignment. And that was my assignment right there. That's my place. He said, this is yours. And almost knocked me over. Did knock me over. But I caught myself. I don't want to be embarrassed for everybody my first time in there. But I do declare it is time for me to take my place. All you little seat warmer energies and fake phonies and destiny swapper attempters and manipulators, spell workers, dark magicers, voodoo doll, pin stickers, whatever. I've seen it all. I've seen enough to know that I've seen too much. And that is it. It's a wrap. Time's up. One of my last couple of videos, I had a video talked about that July 31st was the end of the no compete. I want you guys to do the same thing for yourselves, people stringing you along. Shut down the no compete. Sometimes you get a job, you got a no compete clause. You can't offer your services to other companies for X period of time, and you're stuck, only in allegiance to the company you were with. So I had a no compete that put in place for people to come forward and connect with the assignment, if you will, the journey, if you will, and not people, person, specific individual here to connect with the purpose and the destiny, et cetera, et cetera. And it's been a long time, and people choose what they choose. They choose to connect or not connect, or they believe what they've been told as opposed to what God told them. I don't know. People do what they do. And so, I gave them till July 31st. But I only said that on July 30th in the video. I think the video was July 30th. And then I said, well, I guess that's not that fair to only give them one day to let them know this is your last day to get it together, to figure it out. And so I gave them till a 10-day grace period, because sometimes you get a 10-day grace period for stuff, right? 10-day grace period is what they got. And guess what? It is still August 10th, which is the end of the 10 days, if you will. So, that's what it is, right? So July 31st to August 10th is 10 days. And so if they didn't connect or reach out or wish to do so, nothing I can do about it. But the no compete time is over. So now I'm opening the opportunity to others who are interested. The exclusive time, exclusive right to, join in and commit to that ends, well, by the time you see this video, it'll be over, but ended at 11:59 on my clock as I am recording this. Is 11:39 p.m. August 10th, 2024. So 11:59 at 20 minutes. By the time I've done the video, to be done, right? So it's like, well, what are you gonna do with people who don't want to connect with the vision God put out or the destiny He has for them? He'll find a replacement. It's not that you want a replacement. You just want what He said the first time. But everybody doesn't want that. Everyone doesn't want the same things. So, if they're in love with how it looks compared to how it feels, then, you can't change that about somebody. And it's not my place to change anything about anybody. I can help you transform. I can guide you along the way, but it's not my job to do it. It's every individual's job to make the changes within themselves and within their situations and put the boundaries in place and cut off the separate the wheat from the chaff, right? not cast their pearls to swine continually, and take their place. So as it's time for me to take my place, it's time for you to take your place. Take your place. If you want to know what sermon I'm talking about, go back to the New Birth streaming spaces on, I guess maybe on YouTube or Facebook. Back in March, I guess it was. Was it March 2019? Or May, I think it was March 2019. At the installation for Dr. Bryant officially as the pastor of the church, New Birth. So his dad, Bishop John Bryant, did one of the, the installation sermon. And so he said, take your place. Well, my parents and I love that. Mom's passed on now. She loved that. We love that. Take your place. So I'm taking my place. I'm standing there. I got, 19 minutes left. But if not, God's going to give me another place. Still with my same amazing destiny. It's just a different destiny partner. And then whoever was the original partner didn't want to partake. They'll have some other destiny. It won't be as amazing as the original one that God set out. And, we all make choices. I can't make anybody make any choices. I made my choice and I decided to follow God, right? And so no turning back on that. Now, if the person or whoever's in the destiny decides to never show up for it, then I'm still following God, but God will pick somebody new. He'll have somebody else to take the place, take their place. It'll then be their place and no longer the other person's place. Like I said on probably my last video. I left my TV weather job, TV traffic and weather job in DC. I was afternoon TV traffic anchor and evening TV weather anchor at a TV station in Washington, D.C. And I got married. And I thought, I'm working second shift. I'm never going to see my husband. Blah, 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 blah. Silly talk, right? And so I left that job and decided to do something that had different hours, right? I'm going to start my production company and do something else. So, I love the job. I didn't really want to leave it. I just thought I wasn't going to ever have time to spend with my husband as a newlywed, which was silly, just literally goofy. So when I tell you guys you can level up and you can transform, I know from which I speak because I had to transform myself also out of this low-level thinking, things that are not thinking things and doing things and making decisions that are not in my best interest or the best interest of, God's destiny for me, etc. So I'm not pointing fingers because I can point the fingers at myself. I'm just not in that space anymore. And I hope that you guys won't stay in that space. But so I resigned from the job, from my job. And I love that job. I loved every broadcast job I had. I'm 36 years a broadcaster. And I've loved every broadcast job I've ever had. And so that one was no different, right? And so I'm saying that if the person who's destined to have the position decides not to accept it, then God will find a replacement. And then the one who was originally destined for the position and the divine union and divine connection and the spiritual protection that comes with that connection, if they decide not to do it, then it becomes someone else's thing that God gave someone else. Since you don't want it, then you'll be looking at someone else in the position that you were supposed to be in, or that was destined for you originally. Like, that's my position. Oh my gosh, someone's actually in it. Dag, I should have done something. I should have stepped up. So much the same when they posted my position. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my job. Did I really resign? Did I say I wasn't going to do this anymore? Oh my gosh. And then the person was hired and started. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really did say I didn't want to keep that, that blessing, right? And that's how, the original destiny partner will be looking at it. I don't want that to happen to them. I've been ready to rock and roll with this thing for a long time, so I'm hoping that they can step up and be prepared for what thus saith the Lord. But you don't be looking back at it and be like, oh my gosh, I could have had all of that. That was my thing, and I didn't take it. Why didn't I take it? I don't want you to have any regrets. That's for the destined person and for everyone here in the community. I don't want any regrets because you didn't take your place, that you didn't believe God enough, or you believe other people enough. Even the tricking heads be trying to trick you. And I know tricking heads watch. Tricking heads, you watching too. You don't know what I'm going to say. One time I said recently in a video about talked about eyes of love. You got to be looking at you with eyes of love. And then all they post is, oh, see how I look at them? That's my whatever, and all this loving looks. Like, you should have had eyes of love beforehand. You don't have eyes of love when I say eyes of love. Have eyes of love before that. And are they looking at you with eyes of love is the bigger question, which I don't see that. But that's just me. I ain't with y'all in y'all nighttime hours. But they ain't looking at your eyes. Sure. So, I wouldn't look at the evil eye anyway, because you give evil eye across sacred space in the sanctuary. Like, what? You give me the evil eye across the sanctuary. What's wrong with these people? Who told them to do that? Whose control are they under? They're not under the submission to God. That's for sure. But I don't play games. Some people play games. I don't play games. I've been it. I just don't broadcast it. I've been it. I've been a broadcaster, but I don't broadcast it. I've been it. All the layers of wonderful things that come with me. I don't wear a sign on my shirt to say this is all that I have, offer, and possess. Unnecessary. I just embody it. And the ones that are supposed to see it will see it and know it and be blessed with it, access, and the ones that aren't won't. So if people don't see the value in me, I don't worry about that, because I know that the value is inherent. And whoever God has set up to see it will see it. So as the grace period winds up and it becomes open to, other offers of interest, then hey, it's what it is. It ain't what I wanted, but it's what it is, because I ain't sitting on the shelf anymore. I'm not an elf on the shelf. I'm not a back burner girl. I'm not a third party. I don't compete. I don't chase. I attract, and there is a difference. Okay. All right. I don't play games. I've been it. I'm that song you skipped and found out later was fire. Oh my gosh. I didn't even pay attention to that song. Oh, that's my favorite song now. It's time for me to take my place. Take your place. So, the placeholder, time passer, seat warmer, you can go now. Thank you so much for holding my spot for me. But that's it. The seat fillers that they have at the award shows. They're all glamorous and dolled up and whatnot, but they're just a seat filler until the real person, the real lead character, comes back to their seat after winning their award. So seat fillers, thanks. Well, really, seat filler, thanks. Great job filling the seat, keeping it warm. But you can go now. Go find your next victim. As soon as we know you found them, we will warn them also, so you can have no evil effect on other people. I know you got people fooled, but when they find out what you really are up to and you really are about, this for the tricking heads of the world, it's gonna blow up your whole spot. and blow your cover, and all the things you got based off of false pretense of who you were and what your character was really about will be stripped away from you. All of it. Every last piece. Because it was built on a false pretense, and you are not that person. The mask has been falling off, and it's going to keep falling off because it's not who you are. You don't even like being like that. You don't even like being a nice girl. It just don't fit you. You don't even like it. You're just doing it to climb up and get what you want. And then, to my person out there and to my people in the community, there are, again, we talked about the long game. These people playing that long game, they will go a long years and years and years to get what their ultimate goal is, to take over all of your whole entire empire. Or to take, and some people who don't have an empire, all their money, people's money, all people's assets, all people's whatever. And then once they get yours, then they go on to the next. But this person, they already got a next. In fact, they already got it right now while they're with you. Ask them. Oh, darling, I would never do that. Ask them. Oh, they don't know what they're talking about. Ask them. No, you're the only one for me. Ask them. Do they really love you? Of course. You see my eyes of love? Ask them. And use your inner knowing and your true discernment to see if they're telling you the truth. Not the love spells and the love bombing and the this and the that and the manipulation and the blackmail and the trickery and whatever. Ask them who else they got. Who else they got. Ask them. Or how many others they got. Ask them. Just ask them. And, the stuff that they have achieved or not even achieved, been given or offered since they've been in the long game with you, is only based off of your endorsement of them by being with them. It's not based off of anything that they really have and possess inherently, internally, inside of their own self. There's no oil on that, right? So when there's no oil in a sacred space, you can't just make oil. You just fake oil. That's what it is. And so, this is for you, and this is for anyone who needs this now or in the future. You really, really, really got to check your circle. Really, really got to check your bed partner. Really, really got to check your work team. Some people you put up to leadership things are not up to the leadership level. And, we talked about this on another video. Please go back and get your leader that left when you try to demote them because of what the tricking head said. Please go back and get them at any cost. They were the true winner. And the tricking head is the true fake one. They're truly fake. And they are strategic in manipulating situations. Chief manipulator in chief. That's the only thing they can lead. Manipulation for negativity, negative outcome for everybody else, positive outcome for themselves. They don't love anybody but themselves. They don't even love the people they're supposed to be serving. They don't. Look at them. You watch. And see, the thing is, as soon as I say it, then they're gonna try to do it, make it look right. Then they'll watch next time they're up there. They're gonna be looking extra loving to people, extra wonderful to people, to counteract what I just said. And so you got to know that that's what's going to happen. Anticipate it and see right through it. Just keep tricking you right back into the same old stuff. I think you understand it, but I don't know. As soon as they touch you again, you're under the spell. You can't let them touch you. Don't look them in their eye. Don't eat nothing they offer you. Don't do anything around their energy. Separate yourself. And as you've got them propped up in all these opportunities that they're not qualified for, who's doing the work for you? And other people are doing the work to prop them up in a position that they don't even know how to handle. I don't understand that. Don't be a part of that anymore, okay? I mean, you got enough on your plate. Why would you add more stuff to your plate? Someone who can't even carry their own plate. Carry my plate too, and this one, and this one, and this one. But they ain't offering to carry none of your plates. Of course, now they will, since I said that. And I don't mean literal plate. Carry some of the load you got. Right? Yeah, it's just so, I'm over the whole thing. So, the deadline is coming and gone, and I hope that my person shows up for me. And I hope that your person shows up for you, everybody here in the community. And if they don't, God said, don't worry and don't fret. Look to the hills, from whence cometh my help? My help comes from the Lord. And guess what? He got a plan for me. He already had this plan. And if somebody won't cooperate with the plan, He going to adjust the plan accordingly. Rule people in and rule people out and let it be. So I'm going to stand here and take my place. Seat warmers, be gone. Time passers, be gone. Placeholders, be gone. I've been waiting a long time, patiently. It's my turn now. And after this, the ride is closed. There's no more ride. Everybody been riding on you. The ride's closed. In fact, the whole amusement park's closed. We don't play all that stuff anymore. It's over. The spiritual protection that comes with the divine connection cannot be matched. And it cannot be played with, messed with, or destroyed. Now, God's will can be delayed, because it's been delayed a long time. With all the spell work and all the trickery and all the illusions and all the, got your nose open, whatever that is. But it will not be denied. And God's will be done regardless. So, to all the placeholders, time passers, meaning you're passing your time with these fake ones. The seat warmers, they're holding my seat warm. Thank you. There's no need for you to continue in this journey because you will not win. God's will is God's will. And for all my foot draggers and shoe scrapers, which would be my person and anyone's person, anyone's true divinely connected person, God's will be done no matter how much you drag your feet, no matter how much you scuff your shoes. You can't stop God's will either. So I don't know why y'all out there trying to drag this thing out. But you will have to answer for the delay. But a delay is not a denial. And hey, there's no stopping what God is doing. It was done before you were ever on this earth. Before I was ever on this earth, it was already destined to be. So don't matter what the naysayers say. Don't matter who agrees with it. They don't have to like it. They're not going to like it. The people who are already in these places, placeholders and time passers, you pass your time with them. The seat warmers, they think it's their spot. It's not their spot. It was never their spot, even though it looks like it. It was never your spot. It was always my spot, or it was always the destined person's spot for anyone in the community. My spot was always my spot. It still is my spot, and it will always be my spot. I don't care how long you sit up there warming up my seat. It's not your spot. It's not your place. It's not your destiny. And you will pay, not to me, but God will see to it that He addresses you in that thing that you're doing. That wrong thing you're doing, trying to hold up his divine destiny. And so I wouldn't want to be in that position. So, I mean, you might as well give up. Just say, look, all right, uncle, all right, uncle, I'm not going to do it no more. Look, I don't want to do this anymore. You might as well give up, because you will not win. And the more and longer you go up here pretending like it's your place, that you didn't try to destiny swap, and you didn't try to take some blessing from somebody else, what you did, they say the bigger they are, the harder they fall. It's going to be a bigger blowout for you when God just does it the way he said he was going to do it. And you're out, right? So you might as well bow out gracefully yourself instead of waiting for the whole thing to blow up, because it's about to blow up. It's about to go down. And I don't have to do anything. I just could sit here and just watch. I'll just believe God. I'm just out here trusting God. Out on a limb. Nope, I'm trusting God. You say I'm out here on a limb. But no, I'm out here trusting God, honey. And we talk about cliffhanger hanging from a cliff. That person want to push you off the cliff, my darling. My person. Your fake person want to push you off the cliff and take over your whole world. Take over everything you built. You've been building this thing for decades now. And they want to walk into rooms and take over everything on no strength. Not even on God's strength. They ain't got no strength. They can't even handle the skill set that's required to do this job that they got. And frankly, they couldn't leave me out of a wet paper bag. I'll never sit under them. And the longer you keep them there, the longer you keep from your destiny. So you should gracefully let them go, or painfully let them go, but let them go. That's me talking to my person now. And to the fake person, you should gracefully bow out or painfully bow out, but you should go. That's what it is. God's will cannot and will not be stopped. I don't even know why people try to do it. Like, you ain't learned that yet? Lord have mercy. It can't be stopped. Can't be stopped. You know, it's like my person and people here in the community had to go through all of this. Even me had to go through all of this to learn some lessons and level up and to heal ourselves, right? That's what this journey is about in the community. And, you know, to my person, I've been rocking with you through thick and thin, through the good, through the bad. Only giving you the good in life, even while you were dealing with the bad. Never have I ever, or never has anyone's person ever hampered them with anything bad. Now, the people around you who don't care about you, they're not there for you when you need help. Only around for a good time. Only around for the good time, or for having a good time. And then the moment you're in some trouble, they out. So cut them off. It's not love. It's just a bad habit. An apathy. You're apathetic about it. You just resign to the situation at this point. Like, oh, well, I've been making this mistake long enough. I'm this long. I might as well keep on making it. No. Please don't do that. No, you didn't. Or did you, right? And so just resign to the situation. You're disappointed about pushing away the gift that God sent you. Now you know it. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I pushed God's gift away like that. Thinking the grass was greener somewhere else, the placeholder. No. The ungrateful one. No. The one that wants to be with as many people as I wanted to be with. No. The one that is with other people now. No. You feel a void right now. My person and people's person. You feel a void right now. And, you know, it's like you know where you should be. And the void cannot be filled by anyone or anything else. You're not yourself. You're not the same. Now that you have this knowing, this inner knowing, this God knowing of what you should have been doing the whole time. How could I have not known this? How did I miss this? That song you skipped and found out later was fire. You didn't understand it. You thought it was too good to be true. Ain't nobody really that nice. Ain't nobody really that sweet. Ain't nobody really that good. Ain't nobody really going to be that kind to me. Ain't nobody really going to give unconditional love. Only transactional love is all I've ever known, is what you say to yourself. Yet you asked God for this unconditional love thing, and he propped it right up in front of you, placed it right at your fingertips, and you said, oh, this is too good to be true. I ain't doing it. Nah. And then you waited years and years and years and years and years and years, and still your person remained steady and true. And you're like, wait a second. By now, after all the trickeries I played on my person to get them to show their true colors, they would have shown them by now. But they were showing their true colors from day one. They haven't wavered on that since, because that's who they really are. And yeah, people do exist that are good people. You just may have never experienced them before. And so now you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I messed that up. And I'll say it's only messed up if you don't show up for it. But if you show up for it, then hey, guess what? It's not messed up. But if you don't show up for it, the replacement's coming. And they won't be a placeholder or a time passer or a seat warmer. They will be the permanent replacement for you in your position. And you know we don't want that. You know we don't want that. Take your place, the bishop said. Take your place. Don't be fooling around with this thing. Playing around too much. Playing with me. Playing with me. You know? Stop playing around with this stuff. So make those tough cuts and surrender to what you know. Surrender to your inner knowing. Surrender to what thus saith the Lord. Surrender to what God said to you the first day that he gave you that. Right to you. You know? If I look back at that day, I'll see pictures. People are like, why are they smiling so much? Why they look so smiling in the picture with you and smiling in the picture with me? Like, I don't know. But now I know. Because God said, here you go. But you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready. It requires work. It requires some hard doggone work. As Wesley Snipes said in White Man Can't Jump. Some hard doggone work to do what you need to do to level up to that. But he gave it to you. You asked for it. You prayed for it, and he gave it to you. And then when you got it, you were like frozen. Oh, I can't. But you can. So, what are you gonna do? I can't say there's a grace period to the grace period, but I can say God is sovereign. And if he puts it in your heart to do something about this today, then hey, so be it. So be it. And I still believe God for it. And I know you have it within you to do what it takes. All right, I'm done now because it's 12:08 a.m. I was going to be here a couple of minutes. I was here about almost 40 minutes now. And she is done saying. That's all she wrote. And nothing else to say. Time for me to take my place. Placeholders, time passers, seat warmers. Thanks for my seat warm this long, but you have to go. Bye-bye. I don't play games. I've been it, like Lizzo says. And, we all had to go through this to learn some lessons and level up. Did you learn the lesson? Did you level up and heal? I hope you did. I know I learned some lessons. I know I leveled up and I'm healed. I'm ready for whatever God says. I hope you are too. And tricking heads, Lucy's, spellers. Oh, and they don't want to be a witch anymore. That's the other part. I forgot. They don't want to be a witch anymore. So now they're acting so sweet and denouncing the witchcraft. And all the evil and the witchcraft. And he's talking about yourself. What are you talking about theyself? So anytime I say anything about anything, they're going to go the opposite. Just to prove to you that they are who they say they are when they're not who they say they are. And they're very good at projecting what they do onto others. So they project it well to you, what they do onto your person. So you believed it. Have all kind of people believing it. But it's really them all along. So when you begin to understand the sleight of hand and the manipulation of the trickery that these people do, you can't be fooled by it anymore. Once you learn the magician's trick, you can't be fooled by it anymore because you already know what they're doing, right? You already know what they're doing. So you're like, oh, I know that. Oh, it can't fool me. Oh, I got that. And you know what they're doing. They project it onto your person, all the evil that they do, instead that your person did it and does it. You believed it. People believed it. Now they're projecting onto your person the witchcraft and this and that when it's them that do it. The spell work. The voodoo pins, the whatever else people do. Dark magic, whatever. And you believed it and people believed it. And none of it's true. But if you understand what they do to trick you, then you can no longer be tricked. So I'm asking you to understand what they do to trick you so that you can't be tricked anymore, right? You can't be tricked anymore. There's no embarrassment from being tricked because trickers are going to trick, and they are expert trickers. Expert manipulators. Manipulators are going to manipulate. Haters are going to hate. They're experts at what they do. That's how they've gotten so far until they're found out, and they got to find somebody new to groom up and play the long game with. And you're the one right now. And boy, that long game, they almost got you. But like I said in another video, they turned out to be a mirage. Wasn't they not real? They fake. As soon as you get up close to it, it disappears. Poof. Because it doesn't exist. The they that they present to you doesn't exist. The they that they present to the world doesn't exist. It's a mask. It's a fake. It's a false facade. They know it. I know it. And now you know it. So we got to act accordingly. When you're given the information, what are you going to do with it? You going to bury it and keep believing the lie? Or are you going to make the changes? And please bring your leader back. Oh my gosh. That's a travesty. Ugh, I can't believe that. You know? That hurts my heart. That a good leader was sent packing and let go. Or decided to leave based on some tricking heads trickery. Some placeholder who ain't even supposed to be there. They tricked their way into the position. Position with you. Position in your bid. Position in the leadership team. They tricked their way in. And they're slowly dismantling everything you've built. Again, look at what they're doing in the manipulation and the tricks, and you won't be fooled anymore. Understand how this trick works, and you won't be fooled. I'm telling you what the trick is. They're trying to take over your whole kingdom there. Everything you've ever built. All these years you've been working, doing how God wants you to build this thing, and they want to dismantle it and make it work in their favor so they can be in control of it all. And to let one of your leaders leave because the tricking head, false person wants their duties or whatever and demote your ace guy right there to something else while the false person takes over? No. You need to get that false person out of everything that has anything to do with you and your space. And you keep putting them on your people that you're called to serve, and they're putting poison, that poison thread, all throughout the people that you're serving. And it will slowly lead to the shutdown of everything. It's a problem. It's a big problem. And everyone knows it. And you know it. But the more you make contact and stay in contact with them, the more they have a chance to put that poison thread back in you. The more, every time they touch you, all of a sudden you're like, oh, da-da-da. Before they touch you, all right, we're heading on out of here. And as soon as they touch you, Like, oh, lovely this and that. Oh, this and that. And it's a spell, man. It's a trick. They putting it on you every time. I ain't going to stand there looking at that mess. I'm telling you that right now. But people will, because they believe what you said about that person. When you now know that they're a false person. They played the long game. And they almost won. But God, right? But God. So, yeah. All of that and all of that and all of that. All right. So expect them to refute everything I say with an opposite level of behavior, because that's what they'll do. Just to throw you off the scent once again. But I am asking you not to prolong this any longer. Okay. In the best interest of everyone involved. Even if you don't want to be in the best interest of me. In the best interest of everyone involved. Take me out of the equation. It's a problem. It's a problem. Everyone knows it's a problem, but they're not going to say anything because either they work for you or they think you believe it. So they believe you because they trust you. Not that they trusted them, but they trust you and your judgment. And that's why they trust them. If you blew the whistle and said, oh my gosh, I was fooled. I thought they were this and that, but they're really this and that. Trust and believe. They're not going to still say, oh, but they're shut. No, they're going to believe you because they trust you more than anything. Right? You're the leader. They trust you, the leader, more than anything. Right? Just like other people had to leave, they have to leave. And then they were in cahoots with the other person anyway. You don't even know that? Yeah. Perhaps not specifically what they were doing that they had to leave for, but other things that they did together that I told you about before. I talked about before. And so, it was a whole stonewall. I don't know if they both wanted you or what, but all I know is it was a problem. There was something going on there. And no one wanted you to have your divine destiny. So who are these people serving that don't want you to serve God and live out God's will for your life? Who are they serving? They're not serving the true and living God. Again, I keep going back to these same narratives again and again, but it's going to be like coming up on a year. So I'm be about done with this series and start a new cohort with new people, but in the community and help the others who are still needing help. But we've run the arc of the thing. We've completed the circuit here. So I'm just kind of reviewing things that we talked about. Why don't all those people, I think some of them understand now, but why didn't all those people want you to do what God said for you to do? What was in it for them to tell you don't do it? What was in it for your friend who's not there anymore to tell you not to do it? What was in it for family members maybe that if they told you not to do it? What was in it for anybody else around you that said not to do it? Why would they say that if they were really serving God? And if they're not really serving God, they shouldn't be in any leadership position. They shouldn't even be around in what it is that God has called you to grow and build and shepherd over. Right? But why wouldn't God's people want God's will for another one of God's people? Ask them that. All right, I'm going to wrap with this. You just got to tell them, look, I'm not doing this anymore. This is where I want to be. This is what God really had for me. I'm really going to do what he said now. And I'm going to serve God. And I'm going to my destined place with my destined partner. And I'm sorry, it's not you. And I know it's going to be hard for you, but I'm leaving. And it's over. And if they truly serve God, although they feel it's going to be hurt, they will understand that. Anyone else? If they truly serve God, and they know that God gives us all a destiny, they will understand this thing. If they protest or they turn on you, they don't understand God or God's destiny, and they're not serving the same God you are. But hey, they don't want me to talk anymore because my throat's getting all tied up and dry. I can't even talk anymore. And I don't have my drink out here. She's saying too much. She's telling all my secrets about myself to my face. Strumming my pain with her fingers. I'm singing your life with my song. These old tricking head people can't even talk. See that? They're like, shut her throat down. Not today. Not before I say all I had to say. And I think I've said all I had to say, so I'm going to shut it down myself. You can't shut me down. I don't play games. I've been it. What's that little song I've been it? What did she say that in? I gotta see what I gotta find out what that song is. Google it while we're wrapping this up. While we're wrapping this up, she did this on some show where she was playing the flute. Award show. It was a few years ago. I don't play games. I've been it. Lizzo. Truth hurts. Oh, yeah, there you go. Truth hurts. I'ma hit you back in a minute. I don't play games. I've been it. Truth hurts by Lizzo. Okay, we find the lyrics. Oh, that's a good way to end this thing. The truth hurts. One way or another, right? Oh, truth hurts lyrics. Yeah, one way or another. For sure. This song came out. When did this song come out? 2019. Yeah. She said, why men great till they gotta be great? Why are men great till they gotta be great? I took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that. And even when I'm crying crazy, yeah, I got boy problems. That's a human in me. Bling, bling. Then I solve them. That's the goddess in me. You could have had a bad girl, non-committal, help you with your career just a little. You're supposed to hold me down, but you're holding me back. And that's the sound of me not calling you back. Why men great till they gotta be great? Don't text me. Tell it straight to my face. Best friend sat me down in the salon chair. Shampoo press gets you out of my hair. Why men great till they gotta be great? I want you to be great. You said, I'ma hit you back in a minute. I don't play tag. I've been it. She said, I don't play tag. I've been it. We don't do lies. We don't do goodbyes. We just keep pushing it like, ay. Why men great till they gotta be great? I don't play tag. I've been it. That's what I mean. When I don't play tag, I've been it. I ain't gotta be all in your face with it. I just am it, right? I've been it. I possess it, right? I exude it, but I don't have to talk about it for you to know that I'm it. So I'm the song that you skipped and found out later was fire because you weren't paying attention to what was right in front of you, that God placed right in front of you. But it's okay. You can still come. You know. I got applications opening, but you can apply. I'll be glad to look at yours first. You know? Hey, why not? Let's go for it. Because I want God's divine destiny for my life, and I hope you do too. All right, you guys, it's How We Flow today, TV with Stephanie Stallworth, your ATL traffic lady. And yeah, I don't play tag. I've been it. and don't be great till you gotta be great. Just be great and come be great with me. All right, God's got a whole set of blessings on the way as soon as you say yes to his will and his way. All right, say yes, Lord, yes to your will and to your way. I will trust you and obey. When your spirit speaks to me with my whole heart, I'll agree. And my answer will be yes, Lord. Yes. Do. I feel a praise coming on. Yes, Lord. Yes. Come on, Jonathan. I almost call it Jonathan and Tiffany. Yes, Lord. Yes. Come on, do verse. Maybe I'll sing that for me on Sunday. All right, you guys. Listen, I love you so much. Love, hugs, pats, all of that. I should have started with that. I'm so sorry. I forgot. I just was so sleepy getting on here. And wow, I've been on here almost an hour. Oh, I gotta go. I'm going to bed. Listen, have a blessed day, night, week, weekend, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this on the replay and on How We Flowed Out Today TV network on the Flow streaming service at theflow.lightcast.com, Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, iOS, Android, blah, blah, blah. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. Everywhere you go, we are. You can take us with you everywhere. Anywhere you watch, stream, or anything, we're there. The Flow is the name of the streaming service, and the How We Flowed Out Today TV network is our network on the flow. Let's get in the flow. That's my thing, get in the flow. So yeah, another thing, they don't get in the flow. Come on now. Y'all just trying to poke the bear, but I won't be poked by you. Anyway, love you so much. God bless you. I'll see you soon. Thanks for joining me in the flow. This is Stephanie Stallworth, your ATL traffic lady, and you are up to date. Love you. See you later. Call me.